Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Governor's 2021 Workforce Development Summit, Day 3. We're here on beautiful St. John, and we'd like to welcome all of you here in the room to the event, as well as all those watching virtually from home or work or wherever you're getting your internet access today. I'm Mike Fazio from Workforce 180. Very pleased to be here today to host today's event. We have some spectacular discussions and panels and workshops to do, as we've done previously on the two islands of St. Croix and St. Thomas the past 2 days. It's been a really interesting 2 days because we've learned a lot, and we've learned how to really collaborate collectively to try and seek solutions to the challenges in front of us in workforce development, whether that be to find workers, whether that be to engage employers to understand all the benefits of working with labor and the types of training and programs and employment opportunities that can be classified as terrific opportunities for someone who wants to create a career pathway. So I'm very excited today to begin the event and introduce Governor Bryan as well as Commissioner Gary Malloy to begin things with a great discussion, and I think you're going to find the points that they make really, really interesting. We'll also have an opportunity to take questions from the audience. So without further ado, I'd like to bring you Governor Albert Bryant and, of course, Commissioner Gary Malloy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Is this working? Okay, good. I just want to say welcome to everybody who has joined us here, and for you who joined us virtually. We've been, for the last 2 days, I've been doing this presentation, and as much as I like doing presentations, I think it would be a good opportunity for us to talk about some of the things that I've been talking about and we've been talking about in the workforce development, and then to field some questions from St. John. You know, when you come to St. John, it's always special. I could say this is my favorite Virgin Island. I love coming over here. But lots of issues here, especially when it comes to resources that are dedicated on government on a whole, but as particularly workforce development, living in St. John as a young person, getting the exposure you need, and then more so if you decide to raise your family in St. John. But I want to start off talking about some of the themes that we had for the week, which is personally which is the most important piece of workforce development, whether you're in a very basic field, you're doing regular hospitality, or you're cleaning the floors, up to where, if you're a doctor or a neurosurgeon, whatever industry or field that you hail from, it all starts with you. So, I mean, you've been talking to the participants that have been here. What kind of feel are you getting, Commissioner, from what people want, and what part do they feel they play in their workforce development?
Thank you for that, Governor, and good morning to everyone viewing, listening, and present. It's very, very important that we did or do this summit on each island, because it's very important to get the message out as well as to hear from each island district individually. The island of St. John specifically, you know, a lot of different challenges arise here, and in terms of workforce. One of the things we did this morning in terms of getting here, we did a field trip. We came and a lot of our staff and the new workforce development one-stop Equus, we came together on a van and we came on the barge. And it was an experience for some to be able to see that, you know, the produce, the cement trucks and everything that's coming over to St. John. And so it's important for us to understand the landscape and to let you know that we are addressing the needs that of each island individually. And so we're getting from St. John that, you know, we feel a little left out. We're not, there's not enough focus on some of the things that are most important to them, as well as I know that we have challenges with getting service providers to be able to have the training opportunities for the residents and our young people here. And so we need to make sure that this is an opportunity to get us all together and to have that discussion, to be clear on where we're headed, and to help advance this workforce agenda that you've charged us with doing.
So it's key that you mentioned that. One of the things that I know I came in on was Caneel Bay. Caneel Bay was 300 to 500 employees, depending on what type of the season it is or what time of the year it is. Not having that in St. John is a huge impediment to the workforce. As a premier employer in the Virgin Islands, I mean, Canil Bay is actually in the top 10 employers in the entire Virgin Islands when it was functioning. Not having that here now is a major impediment to progress. So when I look at St. John from the 30,000-foot view, we recognize that now we have a growing entity. I mean, I tell people all the time, you know, St. John is not a Buck Island with a couple people on there and some millionaires. It's actually a fully functioning community, and rather large, and putting the resources in there is where it is. So what I like to talk about is where the opportunities are in St. John. What are the things that we're talking about right now? There's a huge underground project that's going on in St. John, taking all of the electrical service and putting it in the ground. So definitely there's some opportunities there. There's a 4-megawatt solar plant that's going to be built here in St. John. We're in the process of land acquisition for that now. So there's a lot of solar opportunities here for residents and getting involved in that field. We're about to build a new school in St. John. It's going to take a little while. So construction is a huge opportunity for people in St. John who want to get into that field. And then once it's built, of course, it'll be a K through 12. So we need teachers, we need paraprofessionals, they need administrative staff, we need coaches. There's a whole lot of things that's going to go on there. What we'd like to see, the Lieutenant Governor, Tregenza Roach, is the one who really convinced me that we need to have a school in St. John. And the thing that he said is, you know, stop thinking about it as a school for St. Jonians. Think about it as a school for the district. And what the ultimate goal is to make that school, how do you say, like a magnet school. So it'll be like a arts or architecture, or it'll be maybe a marine school, but concentrating in something so that people from St. Thomas, young people, want to come over and go to school and take advantage of the opportunities we have there. So we're looking to do something real special there.
And that ties into what, you know, in terms of us being able to move the charge. That's why we're doing asset maps of each island. So we're doing an asset map for St. Croix, one for St. Thomas, one for St. John, as well as for Water Island. Yes, Water Island, because it's important for us. We're learning a lot more about the resources on each island. You know, I always reference we had some training done for bartenders. And we trained, we partnered with Diageo, UVI Cell, and that program, we graduated 13 individuals. And when I had a conversation with one of the young people here in St. John, right, you know, I learned that depending on where you work, in bartending on St. John, you can make between $200 to $700 in a night.
Wow.
And we did not have that training on St. John. And so in terms of doing the asset map, we need to look at and get a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, and so that we can make sure that the trainings that we're doing is for the island and helps that particular community. So we're looking at making sure that we're being more targeted, and that's why today we want to talk about getting more service providers on the island of St. John and talk to the job seekers about the opportunities on St. John, so we can make sure that we get this economy thriving again.
I think one of the other big opportunities on this island is the culinary arts. They have incredible villa business here. I think I've been priced out of the market for sure. Thank God the battery is almost complete. Like, I have some place to stay when I'm over here. But a lot of people need personal chefs when they come to these villas. They want to have a personal chef for the weekend. Concierge service is huge too. People want to be catered to. I always laugh at my best friend in the world. I call her my sister. She was actually just left. You know, I always tell her, you could never move back to the Virgin Islands. And she's like, why? I said, you know, one morning I was talking to her and she's telling me, I'm waiting for AAA. And I'm like, what do you mean you're waiting for AAA? You're in your house. You're not on the highway. She's like, yeah, they come to your house. I was like, they come to your house? She's like, yeah, my battery's dead. They're going to come. They're going to bring a battery here. They're going to fix the car, and then I'm going to go to work. I was like, you could never. you could never move home again. Like you broke down somewhere in the Virgin Islands. You don't have AAA. Like you have Albert, Alex, and Alexander helping you. And that sort of thing. People be like, they pass you by. Hey, Gary, what happened, man? Your car broke down. Let me get ready to walk. That's the best you're gonna get. And I think we are sleeping on that. And in several ways, I think that we underestimate the level of service that the people who come to the Virgin Islands want. And the second thing is what they will pay, right? So I know a lot of people in St. John have property, ancestral property that they have. I couldn't stop laughing. We had a meeting with some people the other day. So the biggest thing in hotel now is tree houses. Like people pay $3,000 a night to sleep in a tree house. Knock up some tree houses on your, you need some plumbing in there somewhere. But what I'm saying is all these experience, I think the other piece is marine. Well, let me finish on hospitality. In the territory now, so we have a serious problem. Anybody could guess what it is? It's not WAPA, even though that's serious too. Housing. And it's creating workforce shortages. So we're up here talking about workforce. Workforce housing is important as well too, especially on St. John. So the restaurants depend on snowbirds, seasonal workers that fly in and cook and bus and wait and do all these things. But they don't have anywhere to stay anymore because the rent has gone through the roof because of the hurricanes, the FEMA work, construction, everybody is driving the rent up. And because of Airbnbs, forcing people out of their residential housing so we can get Airbnb income, which is nice, but it creates a whole new problem for those people who need to rent. So because of that now, seasonal workers can't find anywhere to stay that's affordable. So the restaurants don't have enough chefs, buses, sous chefs, waiters to do it. So that's a huge opportunity for local people, right? To start to come in now and fill in those spaces, especially in the culinary space. And this is not only true in St. John, it's true in St. Thomas, it's true in St. Croix. And even last season was the first time that I actually, in the Virgin Islands, like you literally had to be the governor to get a table the same night. And even the governor was turned down from some place like, nah, Gov, not tonight, So that, and I talked about that in my speech this week about opportunity, like looking for where the opportunities are now. So if you're a trainer, there's a whole big opportunity now to train people in the hospitality industry, culinary arts, and if restaurants, if you want to run a program, the Commissioner of Labor can help you. We can actually pay you to train chefs, waiters, sous chefs, bussers, whatever. So you have a restaurant that serves only in the night. It's empty all day long. Come and get a specialized, customized program. You can teach people all day long how to bus tables. And get this, the key to this is you'll get to pick of the lot. So you're training them, then you get to pick the best ones, and then you give the rest of them to your competitors.
You're kind of spoiling our strategy to get a pool together. We're trying to get everybody to come together.
I'm just saying.
There's a lot of competition. So, a lot of the training, what we're trying to do again, in terms of building that pipeline, we're trying to get different industries to come together. We've had hiring opportunities with hospitality. And so we're being more targeted in doing that because we need everybody to come to the table to help us with the skill sets because some of the things that we've noticed, we've heard from the employers very clearly that, I would hire this person, but they need this additional training. We need to make sure that we deal with the soft skills or the customer service skills. And so we've built in with our partners and our service providers through the board that has helped us to be able to reach out and do more specialized training. And so what we're trying to do is to make sure that within those industries, we have you come together, help us to help with the screening, give us some information as to whether you would hire this individual or not, and we are then identifying the specific training that you are recommending that they need to make sure that we give you the best possible candidate that we can.
And that's so important, right? The best possible candidate that we can. And people who are job seekers that are looking at this, like employers are actively competing for talent. I compete every day for talent in the government. We have a lot of salary constraints that's pushing. I'll give you one. Like, I went yesterday and I visited another opportunity. We had let me tell my story first. My brain rate moves way too fast. So I went to the motor pool for St. Thomas and St. John, police and property and procurement, and all the bays are closed. And I'm like, why are these bays closed? They're like, we don't have any mechanics. So the government police officer fleet is 200 cars. That's just the police. The government probably has at least 500 to 600 cars on each island. That's just the government. And we don't have a list of people lining up to get jobs to service diesel. We've registered over 200 new vessels, boats, in the last year and a half, 2 years. There are no new diesel mechanic shops opening. There's nobody doing that. There's limited amount of haul-out service. People are taking the boats all the way to Trinidad to get service from the Virgin Islands because there's nowhere to go. So think about all of the problems that coronavirus is creating now when you have all of these embargoes from moving stuff in and out of Caribbean countries, period. People have to rely on the services in their particular area, and no one's taking advantage of that. All of that marine business that came over here, all those boats need gas, they need crews, they need captains. We have a tremendous opportunity that may be coming our way. We've been working on it with the delegate for a while now, and it's called the temporary visa. So the Virgin Islands will actually be able to give 45-day visas to people from wherever in the world to come and visit and then go back. Huge. Right now, because all of the charter fleets are in the U.S. Virgin Islands, most of the captains are from South Africa and other places. They cannot come into the VI waters. So there's a shortage of captains. There's a shortage of airline captains worldwide. The beauty about today is, and especially for St. John, is the world has gone virtual. So now there's no restrictions in having St. Johnians participate in workforce development classes. And what I've done as governor now is I've taken it a notch up. So I don't talk about it much, but I have a program to put free 5 megabit service bandwidth everywhere, any public space, any park, any beach, anywhere. And we're going to achieve this goal here in the Virgin Islands. And thank you. The reason that we're doing this is everybody needs access to the internet, not only because it's for your homework and all the other things, but it's a tremendous marketing tool, and it is the ticket to business. So when I was an entrepreneur a couple of years ago, this was my office. And one of the things that I campaigned on, if people don't pay to that part of it, like the government should be accessible from your phone. We should be able to do everything from your phone. Today, that's almost true, right? Because you can work government from anywhere, speak to anybody. You actually could FaceTime any government official now from your phone. The next step is do it in the schools. Ta-da, coronavirus, we did it. Every single student has a laptop, has access. The next thing is bandwidth. So we're making a push in conjunction with the president to have 100 megabit service accessible in the Virgin Islands. And we haven't figured out how to do that yet. But we are going to make sure that everybody has 5 megabits, because the real resiliency of the community is people being able to be self-sufficient and support their families. If they don't need the government, that's one less person, 10 less people we don't have to figure about if you got 9 kids. Don't make 9 kids. But it's real, and I want us to think about it. Senator Donna Fred Gregory in her wisdom, the President, Senate President, passed a piece of legislation that I signed into law now, that if the Department of Education doesn't have a class, that they have to provide it for a student virtually. So that means that if you want to learn Russian, if you want to, whatever it is in school now, you can access a class. We have to learn, again, not on a tangent now, but I'm sorry, I get this way. Because I get so excited about this, because think about this now, right? The whole idea, and one of my speech this week was about perspective. The whole idea of how we think about things, I'll give you an example. This is how we have to force ourselves to think totally different if we're going to really make miraculous change. The Department of Education set up a virtual school, and then they set up one for St. Thomas and one for St. Croix. Tell me what don't make sense about that. The school is virtual. You don't need a thing. But because we are forced to think in boxes and in districts, we setting up the virtual the same way. It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter now what, you could belong to any school district. You want to go to BCB and you live in Contant, it's virtual. You know, you could join virtual. If your parent doesn't want to send you to school, you should be able to participate in a Virgin Islands virtual school. If whatever you want to learn, and if we need to patch you into a class in German, in Austria, we could do it too. We like have the complete capability to do this now. And when you think about what that means about learning this way from a child, that's going to be normal to you. So working this way is going to be normal to you. So now you open up an entire world of job opportunities to a child in St. John who don't have to catch a ferry no more. I could do all the work from Cinnamon Bay because there's internet access everywhere. Powerful. That's the kind of things that give me goosebumps. That's why I run for governor, to do stuff like that, not really fill potholes. But these are the conversations when I talk about us changing our perspective and what's available in our workforce and how do we access this thing. The other piece I wanted to talk about in St. John is hospitality, right? So there are all kinds of resorts being contemplated, to being built. There's a marina that's in contemplation. I call it contemplation because until I see the first nail knock, it's not a reality. We need to start to get ready for that. And, you know, as a born St. Thomian, seeing the evolution of St. Thomas, it didn't really work out the way that I wanted it to. I mean, I think we could have done way better when it comes to planning. We have that opportunity now in St. John and certainly in St. Croix. But I talk too much, I know, but I get excited when I talk about this. I'm gonna stop, because how much time we got, Mike? Oh, we ain't good. That's hardly any time. We have any questions from the crowd now? No? No questions? This is good. Sure.
You brought up 45-day visas
Yeah.
for foreign workers, and
Not foreign workers. They can't work. That's one thing. Yeah, they
Yes.
can't work.
okay, very good. So this will all just be benefiting the whole tourist industry.
So, yeah, the tourist industry. So the way that benefits us is, first of all, we have about 1 million passengers that float around us every year, because we don't have the resources to check in all of those cruise passengers and clear them out of customs. So that's one way we can do that rather quickly. So we'll get more, because there are ships that leave from Barbados that are totally European, that can go to Barbados but cannot come to the United States waters. So those boats will be able to access us. Sports tourism, we're investing an incredible amount of money into sports tourism, especially on the island of St. Croix. So if we want to have a cricket tournament, now we could grant 45-day visas. People can come from all over the Caribbean into St. Croix to watch cricket. St. Thomas too. We don't have a cricket field in St. John yet, but we're working on it. Those are the kind of opportunities there. Any questions, other questions from people who live in St. John? No? It's a quiet morning.
Great opportunity.
So as we go on too, I really like to come to St. John and go to the grocery store. It's always a shocking reality. It's just, if you want to learn about a community, go to the grocery store. The shocking reality that it is, I go there to meet people and find out what are the needs, because I mean, St. John is kind of remote for the most part, especially if you live on St. Croix, to get over here. But I think it's important too that St. Thomians and St. Jonians go to St. Croix. St. Croix is the last, it's not the last, it's the only residential island in the Virgin Islands. Everywhere else, St. John and St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John and St. Thomas, Water Island, incredibly difficult to have a living, get a job, earn a salary that you can actually live with. St. Croix, you could still buy a quarter acre of land for $20,000. And if you want to work real hard like me, you could still build a home for $150,000. You don't got to make all the cement yourself, but
And bring
I
all
did
your
it,
friends
you
to help.
can. I did it, you can too. You don't have all of the excavation costs naturally associated with it. Rent's cheaper, gas cheaper, schooling is cheaper in terms of sending your kids to school. I'm not making a pitch for St. Croix, I'm just saying. Because one of the things that I know that's going to happen, that we all need to be prepared for, is we're about to go through a period of tremendous growth. We already started. And I want to make sure that Virgin Islanders are not listening to the cows in the Chick-fil-A commercial. Because what we're seeing is young people moving to the States to look for opportunity and professionals moving to the Virgin Islands to look for opportunity. And when they get here, there's so much opportunity, they're like, wow, because it's fresh eyes. You're not seeing what's going on. So during the next 10 years of rebuilding, schools new, hospitals new, roads new marinas, new airports, new hotels, all happening as we speak. And you will say, like, well, I don't see that. The Marriott is going to be completely new. Sugar Bay is about to be done. We just finished doing the DV. We're about to build a new hotel and Hotel on the Key. Kings Alley is about to be expanded to King Christian. So there's so much development. There's a new hotel being built down there on Lindbergh Beach. We're about to redo that Lindbergh facility. You see the airport expansion and going up. There's a $23 million port project on St. Thomas for cargo and transshipment. High school, Charlotte Amalie High School is being demolished. There's 50 new homes building in Bordeaux. Dunu is already torn down. It's getting ready to start building it back up. Hidden Valley, those are coming down. The entire thing is going to be new. When you have something new, bright and shiny, people are going to want to come, right? And who's going to build all that stuff? Immigrants from Haiti, from Dominican Republic. And I think, this is what I do at night, I think about all these things that are going to happen. I think we're going to see a resurgence of people from the Eastern Caribbean moving to the Virgin Islands, especially because, I mean, I don't like to tap myself on the back too much, but I'll tell you, the way that we've handled this coronavirus, the rest of the Caribbean is bleeding. They don't even know. Yeah. I don't think people are paying attention, but the Bahamas, they're ready to go bankrupt. A lot of the other Caribbean, because there's no money coming in. We've been blessed. We did it right, not me alone. We had a team of people that have done an incredible job by the labor team, by the way, $180 million in unemployment support.
190.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot. You talk about making bacon, that's a lot of money. We have been fortunate that, we're not worried about making payroll. We're giving out raises. I mean, we're about to pay back the 80%, $40 million out of our general fund budget. We got tremendous amount of road projects going. In here in St. John, we got at least $3 million of road projects. Central Line, the underground, all that stuff is going to be repaved and redone. We're looking at doing some stuff on the ferry dock, making accommodations for bathrooms, the rebuild of the school, just a whole lot of infrastructure money is going to be coming in, and people are going to want to come to the Virgin Islands. You don't believe me? 25 jets a day in season in St. Thomas. That's insane. You know, the tarmac for Christmas is going to be filled. You cannot get a villa in St. John till March of next year. I bet you money. So we're lining up for another robust season. You know, and people, if you're listening to this, get ready. You know, when you listen, when you hear the president speak and he talks about, you know, their push for green, and then you see GM make that move and say, after 2035, we're not going to produce any more gasoline vehicles. These are indicators to you about what you should be pointing your trajectory, changing your course towards. So here in the Virgin Islands, you know, construction is going to be big, healthcare, hospitality, transportation. Transportation means who's going to fix these green cars when they break down? Where are they going to get the plug-in? All these gas stations, they're going to be empty. You know, we're going to be greening. We're going to be announcing some programs about how you can become energy independent in the Virgin Islands. So think solar. How are you going to get in on that? Tremendous. Right now, we just sent out. We got in the bid for Envision program finally. 200 new homes, 200 home rebuilds, which is $250,000 per home. Get your hammer out. That's a lot of money on the street. Once then people get their new roofs on, what are they going to need? Appliances, refrigerators, furniture. They got to go back, because if your roof was off, everything in your house is ruined. Your clothes gone too, you're going to need clothes. Like, these are the things you need to be thinking about. Okay, you scout out those people who roof is off. When you see them start building, you find the owner and be like, listen, I'm into appliances now. I'm a fashion and interior design. I do cabinetry. Because, you know, once people get something new, they want everything new. But we're talking it up. I'm not letting the commissioner.
No, and you're doing a very good job in us getting to the point where now, as a workforce, and for us to continue to swing the pendulum, the training to make sure that we're ready is there. We got the $10 million from the Community Development Block Grant. Thank you for your support in getting that pushed through, Governor. So
how much money is that?
$10 million to do skills training, and it is with Community Development Block Grant. We're training 640 Virgin Islanders throughout the territory, and we're starting.
But what's significant about this training, though? Don't miss this part, right?
Well, 400 individuals territory-wide are going to be in the construction area. They're going through core. They're going to be, then, specialized training in carpentry, masonry, plumbing, and electrical. And then there's another 240 that are going to be in the on-the-job training arena that involves healthcare, marine, hospitality, IT. And at the end of the day, while you're training, you earn while you learn, and you are going to be placed on job sites as well.
So we're paying you to go out and learn. You know, a lot of states are now actually paying people for going back to work. You get a reward if you go back to work, and then another one if you're there 6 months later. So those are some of the things we're thinking about too. You know, pay you to go back to work, because we need the help. We definitely need the help. The season is almost here. So this $10 million, you know, it's not a drop in the bucket, but it's a start. Like, if we need 10 million more, you know, we could find that. So it's up to you. But if we're running programs and no one is joining them, I'll make an example of the scholarship program. 2 years ago, I gave $1 million for every student who graduated from a Virgin Island high school that was headed to post-secondary education. You get $1,000. All you got to do is write a letter. I've been affected by the coronavirus. I'm going to college. I need $1,000. There's 800 graduates a year, so minimum, just conservatively. So 800 times 1,000 is 800,000. So there's $1 million there. After the first year, there was $750,000 left. I renewed it the second year, right? There's still money in the fund. And I told all the people who got it the first year, you can get it again. There's still money there. So you see how we're not drinking from the well of opportunity. The Virgin Islands have very silently, we have done the thing that has impacted the brain drain the most. Anybody want to guess what that was? It totally wiped out the brain drain. Anybody know? Nobody know? Free tuition. Free tuition at the university. Now, over 60% of Virgin Island High School graduates headed to college go to UVI. And that is huge.
And it's affecting the military because that was their plug, right?
Yeah. National Guard need to raise the stakes. So working as Department of Labor, I watched especially young women, and we got something coming up for you single moms out there. It's a woman empowerment summit, trying to get you powered up and get you, and hear from you what you need. Look for it, it's coming. But I've watched in the Department of Labor, brilliant young women come in to the department, get a good job, start to accelerate. You see them they come in looking, so. Then within like a year, maybe 6 months, they got on the high heels clicking, the jewelry popping, and they work another little 6 months. They got a nice car coming in. Then another 6 months, and the boyfriend's driving the car, dropping them off to work. Another 6 months, they're pregnant. Another 6 months, boyfriend gone. And brilliant young women that could do anything, but didn't go to college because they didn't have enough money. Even if they had enough money to pay tuition, they didn't have enough money to live while they had a baby really early, don't have the family support to really do that. And I decided that there's no one in the Virgin Islands who can do college material work that shouldn't go to college. Like, money should never be the reason why you're not going to school. Because once you get a 4-year degree from Harvard, from UVI, from Amityville, Bama University, you have a degree. And that's what that push was. Now we have another problem. Next year, all of those graduates are going to start to graduate. So we need to put them to work. So, I wanted to talk today about the last thing I'm going to say, because we got to get off, right? We got 5 minutes. Even though as a governor, I could talk as long as I want. Kidding. I want to tell you about a story about when I left the Department of Labor. I was very intimately, and still am, involved in the Junior Achievement Program. It's a financial literacy program that allows students to learn how to build businesses, balance a budget, do a checkbook, all the things they don't teach you in school. How to live. And I love the program so much. It was at the 2014, I was about to leave, and I went to a dinner, and one of the organizers was telling me, well, they're not going to have junior achievement anymore. And I was like, why? And they're like, we can't find anybody to run it. And I said, I'd run it. And the person said to me, you're the Commissioner of Labor. You're going to take a job like that? I'm like, it's a job. And the message I have here for you is, no one starts where they want to. Maybe some people, but for the most part, right? I mean, I graduated from college. I was washing pumps in the night at Hovensa. 2 o'clock in the morning, working 12-hour shifts, checking on oil, doing it. That's what I was doing, much to my dad's dismay, because he paid a lot of money for me to go to school. But the point is, I was working for the company where I saw a future. I saw a tremendous opportunity to move around. And eventually I got out of there and I started doing other things in the company. And people pay attention. I'll tell you the other story. So I was working doing that, and my dad was really writing me like every which way he could. From everything from, that's not what I sent you to school for, to, you got a young girlfriend, you're a Hess man, somebody gonna horn you in the night. Because you're working all the time. He tried every trick. Yes, I said it. Y'all know what horn is, right? I'm just checking. Anyway, I resigned one morning. He's still laughing. You got to keep it light. So one morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, I just got sick of it. I was thinking about everything he said, and I resigned. And I resigned in the middle of the night. They talked about this at the refinery for years because the guy was like, you can't resign, you don't have a letter of resignation. I was like, bring pen and paper. I resigned and walked out of there, right? 2 weeks later, I was playing basketball, and my area supervisor, who never spoke to me the whole time I was working there, saw me, and he says, hey, young boy, you're a Trinity guy, and never forget him, Mike Bichu. Young boy, why you resign the job, son? And I said, man, I went to school. I was trying to get into other places. They didn't want to let me go, and because they really need operators. And he was like, man, you never late. You do what your job is. You never complain. He says, man, whatever it is you do, you need to be working for this company. And I never spoke to this guy before. He was paying attention to me the whole time. And asked me what job I wanted, got me an interview, and got me back into the company. And I tell you this story to tell you that there's no job that's beneath you. It's honest work for honest pay. Like, don't get into you bigger than this. And if you that good in this economy, you could start as a janitor. You'll be running the place in 6 months. If you're that good, get in the door. People hire who they know. I don't care what anybody say. People hire who they know because I know you. I know your work ethic. So I pay attention to everything. I know who works hard and I like Santa. I know who not and I know who nice. I pay attention. Employers pay attention. So, take that job. Yes, it's a $10,000 pay cut. Did that too. Left housing, went to Innovative, took a $10,000 pay cut to learn something new, double my salary in 2 years. If you're that good, somebody's going to take advantage of it. And if you're not being recognized, maybe you're not that good. I'm just saying. So you need to take advantage. Don't get into your pride. Just get out there. You start meeting people, whether they're customers or they're managers. They're going to learn how you do your work, and people are always watching. Even in the Kmart line on the weekend, they're paying attention to how you treat that cashier, how you treat another person. And it's a small community. You can't be cussing out people and no one's gonna know. This might shock you, but people read your Facebook page. They know you like drama. Those are the things that get you going. People want to work with people they like. I don't care what anybody says. If you're a disagreeable person, it's a small community. We know people want to work with people that are easy to work for. They don't like whining. They want to get the job done. So just a little tidbits for you today. I know we've taken up some of your time, but this Workforce Summit has been really productive for me because I'm a labor commissioner at heart. And I think this is an opportunity to change your life and your family's life. I used to tell my employees when I was at labor, every time you give somebody a job or get somebody through that door and get a job, they will never, ever, ever forget you. They will never. When they get that first check, that second check, they're going to say, Miss Son, Miss Malone down in labor, Miss Son, she saved my life. They'll be telling that to their grandkids. So got a good 2 days of Workforce Summit. Looking forward to more. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned and stay with us. Commissioner, any last words?
Well, I just want to take the opportunity to let everybody know. You see how difficult my job is. My boss knows everything. And this baton, that he passed to us based on the Brian Roach administration mission to improve the quality of life for everyone who lives in the U.S., VI, and our guests. And so I keep this baton because to continue to keep the pendulum rolling. The workforce development system is all of us. We have to come together. The Workforce Development Board, in terms of identifying the demand sectors, the community, our partners, our providers, we need to be able to make sure that we come together, we keep working together, and to keep this pendulum swinging. So I just want to make sure that we all keep that in mind as we continue to come to you to ask you for your ideas so that we can work together to move the St. John economy moving. Specifically today, we need to get that rolling and get us more together than we are now. And this Workforce Development Summit, again, has been one that's been very, very exciting, and making sure that everybody is involved. The job seekers, you've heard a lot about the opportunities. There's a lot of opportunity in the Virgin Islands, and we need to take advantage of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you both. Round of applause. I have a unique perspective in how I do business here in the territory, which I've been coming to and working since 2009. We have team members here on the ground, and I think one of the things you said yesterday, Governor, was about adapt or die. And I've worked here since 2009, so if you start to do the events of 2009, that's the recession. And then we had Havenza, then the hurricanes, and now the pandemic. So that belief of adapt or die. I mean, we talked this morning, Assistant Commissioner, what's next? Is it locust? But I think we've done a good job because I come down monthly, so I'm able to see the evolution. I'm able to see the change. I'm able to see the adaptation, and perhaps I don't see it as much back where I reside in Connecticut because I'm there all the time. But I can tell you all, those at home and those here, there is change here. There has been adaptation. As unique and challenging as your obstacles are here, wherever I go in the country, they have unique challenges and opportunities too. So I'd encourage you to all to keep focusing on all the opportunities in front of you today. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come back with our next panel. So thank you those at home for being here, as well as everybody in person. And thank you again, Governor and Commissioner. Thank you.
Being a firefighter, you have to serve, and that's one of the reasons why I became a firefighter. I love to serve my community. I achieved so many different certifications through my time in the fire service. So I've done so much. I'm an EMT, hazmat tech, extrication. I've done it all, which is why I'm where I'm at today.
I moved up in rank, corporal, sergeant, and now lieutenant. Each step was a learning experience, and it's a great opportunity to work in the Virgin Islands Fire Service. I learned several different things in the fire department. The first was the initial fire training, and that's what made me love the job the most. The second one was the hazmat training, which I am the team leader for that department right now. And the last one was the police training, which makes me a peace officer.
I've already taken a test for the entry level test for the Bureau of Corrections to become a correction officer. And I passed it, and I got a call, and they were asking me if I'm still interested, and I said very much so, because I want to be here on my island where I was born in St. Croix to give some services and give back to my community. And the government has provided me with, of course, I would say, a well-secured job, well-secured career, and in the whole aspect of the Virgin Islands, the government of Virgin Islands per se, we need to go a long way, but it's given me a lot of hope. It's provided security for me, and I know they can do that for a whole lot of people here in the Virgin Islands as well.
Work for the Department of Planning and Natural Resources. Been working here for at least 12 years. My job, I deal with fisheries. I love it. What inspired me to get into this field was to help save the environment. I love the environment. It's one thing that I've always had a passion for. I can educate everybody, you know, tell them a lot about the ocean, about the different things that we come in encounter with, you know, try to keep everything safe. It's enforcement, so I deal with a lot of safety issues, so help all the boaters be more safe in the water. It's the best job in the world.
So I'm excited about coming back home from away because I think that a lot of the things that I learned in the States I can give back to the community. I think in the process of giving back simultaneously I'll be able to gain as well.
We're unfortunately still dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, and so really during that time I kind of reevaluated if I wanted to stay stateside or if I wanted to come back home and really not only be surrounded by familiar people and in this familiar environment, but really see if I could bring the skills that I learned abroad in Washington, D.C. to contribute to this environment.
I think it's important for people to know we have the opportunity to leverage all of the experience that you've gained, not only in the private sector, but maybe in whether it's on the mainland or in another country, to now benefit the territory. Again, we have an opportunity to really transform the way that we look for several years to come.
Hi, my name is Janique Ronan Spencer. I am a second-year graduate student majoring in public health at New York University. My future career goal is to work in public health practice as a program manager.
Hi, my name is Kobe Potter and I'm a rising senior at American University in Washington, D.C. I'm a justice and law major and an entrepreneurship minor, hoping to be a defense lawyer in the future.
Hello, my name is Marina Parlato and I went to Cornell University. I majored in history with minors in business, biology, and Latin American studies.
Hi, my name is Javon Sterling. I'm an incoming senior at the University of Tampa, majoring in general finance.
Hi, my name is Micah Hill. And I'm an upcoming senior at LaRouche University. My major is child and family studies, and I have a minor in pre-law.
I first heard about the LIFT program as a senior attending UVI in undergrad, and I applied for the LIFT program because I wanted to seek more experience and seek out the available opportunities in public health.
I heard about the LIFT program through a potential employer, and she encouraged me to apply this way so that I would be a paid intern.
My mother is actually a LIFT program alumni, and so she suggested this to me, and I was also a few years ago another Department of Labor intern, and so I figured that this was kind of the step up that would get me the necessary exposure that I would need in my field.
So I work at the Office of Management and Budget. I intern at the Office of Management and Budget, and I serve as an assistant revenue analyst. So what I do is I shadow the head revenue analyst for the department, and I basically assist her with updating the weekly cash flows and the consolidated reports so she could submit that information to the executive branch for the governor.
I am interning in Judge Watlington's quarters in the Family Division up at the Superior Court.
I am placed under Judge Tejo at the Superior Court, and I have been doing a variety of work, everything from helping file in the clerk's office to helping draft motions and I have also had the opportunity to work on the jury and law clerk handbooks.
I am interning at the Department of Health under the Chronic Disease Management and Prevention Program. Currently, I am conducting a post-evaluation follow-up from the Chronic Disease Control Workshop that was held virtually in the territory. These results will be critical in assessing the needs of our territory in terms of chronic illnesses such as diabetes, cancer, asthma, and sickle cell.
I'm interning at the law offices of Jennifer Jones. Basically, I'm like her legal assistant, so I help her with anything that she needs assistance with.
Overall, my experience was fantastic. I mean, tonight was certainly a testament. Having the governor and the commissioner of finance speak to me directly was a wonderful experience.
I think that the LIFT program has been very effective in helping prepare us to become future leaders in our community, as well as enhancing our knowledge and skills for our future career goals.
I've definitely enjoyed this LIFT program because I feel like it's just allowed me to, not only the program itself, but the people that I got to meet in the program, they're further along in the same path that I want to do, and so it was nice to speak to them about just taking the bar, taking the LSATs, what to expect for law school, and it's really nice to see like other people that are relatively young but are still further along than I am, and it's very helpful to just get that hands-on experience that's necessary for me to excel in my field.
I would highly recommend the program. I would even do it again if I were able.
Yes, anyone who plans on just getting experience for the outside world and just branding yourself, this program is really beneficial.
Overall, it was kind of like life-changing in a sense. I learned a lot working under Attorney Jones, and hearing all the different speakers talk to us really opened my eyes on different things and how I could really network here rather than doing it in the States.
I think that it serves as a great starting point to get your career on the track, and it also helps to enhance your professional and social development.
I would absolutely recommend this program to anybody who has an interest in just exploring their field, or even if you just want to know whether or not this is a field of interest to you, I would definitely recommend this program.
Thank you to the Department of Labor for accepting me into the LIFT program, and I really enjoyed my experience.
Thank you to the Department of Labor for everything. I very much appreciate it.
I would like to say thank you to the Department of Labor for granting me this opportunity to be a 2021 LIFT intern.
Thank you to the Department of Labor for selecting me to be a 2021 LIFT intern.
Hi, my name is Nyan Bansal, and I am a LIFT intern attending the University of Miami, where I'm currently studying biochemistry and am on a pre-medical track.
My name is Jada Romer, a current senior attending the University of Central Florida and actively pursuing a Bachelor's of Health Sciences on the preclinical track.
My name is Ajani Gordon, and I am an electrical engineering major at the Florida Institute of Technology.
My name is Tariq Malloy. My passions are sports, cooking, and clothing design. I'm currently studying sports management and soon to be certified in personal training, corrective exercise, nutrition, strength training, and group training.
I heard of the LIFT program by word of mouth and decided to apply to gain hands-on experience in working in the medical field as well as urgent care system here in Island.
I learned about the LIFT program from my family members who told me about the wonderful experience students had in the program.
Working here at the Acute Alternative Medical Group, I've had the opportunity to work alongside physicians and nurses in creating medical reconciliations, looking at the pharmacy aspect, as well as comparing EKG results to patient charts.
I'm currently working with the lovely folks at the Acute Alternative Medical Group, where I'm helping triaging patients and helping physicians in scribing. Before the program, I didn't have any experience in the medical field at all, but the program helped me find those opportunities to work with patients and to shadow under physicians.
I heard about the LIFT program from the Department of Labor when I was interning at Limetree 2 years ago. I encountered some LIFT interns at the facility who motivated me to pursue enrolling when I was qualified. I'm currently working at Limetree Bay Terminals in the Mechanical and Reliability Integrity Department on a project involving a substation with my mentor, Tim Franz, who is an electrical engineer.
I heard about LIFT when I was browsing through summer internship programs. I interned at the Airport Fire Station 2 years ago through the Department of Labor. I applied to this program to enhance my internship experience. I'm currently interning at the Buccaneer as a line cook. I have been learning temperatures, plating food, flipping burgers, grilling chicken, baking ribs, grilling salmon, and making crab cakes. The LIFT program has helped me to figure out whether or not I would want to continue my path in life cooking.
I would recommend this program to any students who are looking to expand their career and look for new opportunities.
I highly recommend that all university students who are appearing in their junior and senior year of college apply to this prestigious program, as it's one that will help give you connections and networks not only in the territory, but in other parts of the country. I would like to take this time to thank the Department of Labor for extending this opportunity to not only myself, but to other students who have different nurtures and suits.
The LIFT program has provided me with an opportunity to work in my field of study, along with learning important life lessons. Our community has been blessed with this encouraging program for its youth and provides real-world experiences to students who are serious about their future. My experience at the LIFT program has been phenomenal. It has made me reevaluate my life goals and provide me with the opportunity to strengthen my future success. I am grateful for the inspiring speakers at our weekly events. Thank you, Department of Labor, for providing us with this fantastic opportunity.
Thank you to the Department of Labor for the vision that made these amazing opportunities possible.
And to all the folks at the Department of Labor, thank you.
Hi, I'm Carmen Clark, co-owner of Easy Driving School, along with my husband, Elroy Clark. This summer, we were granted the opportunity to work with the VI Department of Labor Summer Youth Work Experience. As a small business, many times you have lingering projects that need to be completed, but you just don't have the staff or the time. So having a student during the summer was a win-win for us at Easy Driving School. Our student Jermaine was given meaningful employment opportunity. He was part of the team and we were able to complete our project. We engaged him fully as a team member. And I would just like to say that, you know, once you hire or work with youth, now we're investing in the workforce for tomorrow. Thank you, VI Department of Labor, for our summer youth work experience.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Governor's Workforce Development Summit of 2021. I'm Mike Fazio, your MC for today's events here in beautiful St. John in the Caribbean, of course. We just heard from the governor himself, as well as Commissioner Gary Malloy from the Department of Labor, and they touched on a variety of topics, all focused on the development here in the territory when it comes to getting back to work and all the things that are happening in a positive way to encourage people to get back to work, encourage employers to connect with those people. So hopefully you feel, as I feel, very optimistic about the coming months as things develop in a very positive direction here. One of the ways it's going to go in a positive direction is through the services that are going to be provided on the front line to people and employers and community members at large when they're seeking work or seeking training or seeking an opportunity to be connected to the right person who can help their career pathway. And those are the folks from Equus Workforce Solutions, and we're joined today by David Gennaro as well as Yvette Ali, and they're going to talk to you about the services they provide and the ways that you can connect with them in the community. So I'd like to bring them onto the stage, although they're already here right now, and let them begin their discussion. So David, Yvette, I'll leave it to you.
Thank you, Mike, and good morning, St. John. These summits have been tremendous. It's the impact I've seen on the service providers, the community, the employers, and the message that we're sharing out to everyone has made a tremendous impact right now. And I'll give you a brief snippet with Equus Workforce Solutions. We're the leading North American workforce solution provider. We serve over 1.6 million participants annually. We're on 36 states, U.S. Virgin Islands and Canada, over 380 locations across those states. And we also employ over 3,200 employees. Just a brief snippet. Before I talk about the services we offer, before I talk about the solutions we like to provide to bring employers, the community, and service providers and the core partners together to share that one message, I want to talk about a success story that I witnessed on Wednesday in St. Croix. Once the summit opened, candidates were walking in, this gentleman walked in, an elder gentleman walked in with over 20 plus years of experience as a welder, dislocated worker, just got laid off. And he went to all the presentations, he talked to all the providers, he came to our front desk, and he approached me after my presentation, and he says, you know, I was really unhappy. I was really dissatisfied before I walked in today at 9 o'clock in the morning. But now I'm excited. Now I'm excited about the opportunities, about the services you get to offer to help me and my family. And that really touched me. Because at that moment right there, I realized this is what we're here for, to help gentlemen like that, to help the individual like that, to create that individualized, specialized approach to help him. So at the end of the day, you know, it's a daunting, it's a daunting task to recreate your resume. It's a hard thing to do. This gentleman didn't know how to recreate his resume, didn't know where to start, didn't know where to look for a job. At the end of the day, he left with an updated resume. He left with connections with our business service consultant so we can send him out on a job interview. At the end of the day, he left with a smile. And that's the impact we want to create. And that's the champion we will create when we bring our services out to the community. You know, I'd like to briefly speak about what the governor said and the commissioner said, the opportunities that are available right now across the territories. The opportunities are there, but we need to share that message to the community. We need to go out to the community. We need to, when we go out, we bring out every service provider, every core partner, all our services to share that message to the community. It's just, and then it's just seeing that gentleman leave with a smile just broke my heart at that moment. It's hard to describe. This is what we're here for. It is hard to put a price on a smile like that. You know, the hardest thing a person can do is have an adult person come in and ask for help. He came in not asking for help because he was afraid to ask for help, but he got help because of what we presented across all partners. Yvette, you wanted to talk about how you helped that individual?
Yes, good morning. So yes, for the past few weeks, we've had many interesting conversations with job seekers and employers. And it's amazing to know, to hear one thing, the commonality between all the employers seem to be having the same challenges. So we're hearing the same story. We're also hearing the same story from job seekers, a sense of frustration. And what we're seeing is like somehow we need to connect all these dots, because there's a lot of services out there. There's, you know, the American Job Center, there's all the service providers in the community, and somehow folks don't know about it. So what happens when they come into the American Job Center, we all know as a job seeker, we've been online looking for jobs and how frustrating that process is. We may start, set up a profile in a portal, and it's just so time consuming, you just give up. Like, I don't want to do this, I got locked out. What happens now, we give that human factor, that face, right? So you want to talk to somebody, you know, I need help with views, I need help with my resume, I need help getting connected with the employer. I know they have jobs, but how do I do that? So when they walk into the American Job Center, we help with that. You know, we vet them, we talk to them, we groom them for the interview, we guide them, we give them encouragement. And that's an amazing thing to watch. I walked in the other day and I was wondering where was my staff? I'm like, I don't see them. The three of them had someone in the training room talking to them, like, why are the three of them talking to one person? When I found out later on, this person was really having a rough time. I mean, really, you know, when they told me what it was, I'm like, oh my God, you guys didn't. And they said when he left there, he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. He came in feeling, just like you said, awful, depressed. We were able to refer him to some services that he wasn't aware of. So this is what we do. We can't rely on we have all these great technology tools available, but that is so impersonal. People need to talk to someone. Employers need to express their desires and their needs to an actual human person, and we listen, we make note of what they're looking for, and when we meet people when they come into the center, we're able to make those connections, like, you know what, that person would be good for this employer, and that's where it begins. Get them registered in views, and we do the rest of the work to get them employed or get them into a training program.
Great, thank you. And those are the needs we hear from the employer, from the candidates, and the people that are walking in. Now we're hearing the needs from the employer. How do we increase the soft skills? How do we increase the customer service skills? And we offer a slew of services that will help their customer service skills. We'll also increase and just really increase their soft skills. And these services we offer are lifetime services. Once you enroll with us at the American Job Center, you have a lifetime resource of LinkedIn Learning, which has over 16,000 courses readily available at your fingertips every day, at night, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. We have our GED Essentials program. We have our Money Essentials program. We have our financial literacy. We have a career pathway, which is a personalized approach to your career path. So we'll talk with you. We'll give you that personalized individual approach, and we'll develop that career. But we will also work with the employers to make sure they get the right candidate. We'll make sure when that person goes in an interview for that employer, they will be properly dressed. Their soft skills be upgraded, their customer service skills, and they will have the proper training behind, so we don't waste the employer's time or the candidate time, so they get the proper candidate in front of them. So we have heard the employers, and we're there to facilitate their needs to make sure you get the proper candidate moving forward. We also heard the service providers. During our presentation, during our summit for the past 2 days, we had service providers approach us. When you go out to the community, when you go out and engage, we want to go with you. So when we go out to the community and we go engage at these community events, we will make sure we bring the whole family with us. I say it's one big family. We bring our friends, we bring the core partners, we bring the service providers, we'll bring the employers, and we'll bring our services along. So the community will be directly involved, informed, and we can interact. I want everybody within these communities to realize that when you go to American Job Center, it's not for UI benefits. I want them to go to a supermarket, a buffet. I want them to walk through those aisles and say, yes, I want to go see this. I want to go see this person. I want to go to talk to this person, because they realize that those are the services that they need. And we will eliminate those barriers, so when they want to go for that vocational training, when they want to go for that educational credential, or they want just to fast-track employment, those barriers have been eliminated because they talk to the core partners. They've gotten the training from the service providers. It's one seamless, flawless informational highway when they walk into the American Job Center. And that's what we will offer.
Absolutely. So the way I see it is, like, One Stop Shop should be a household name that everyone is, familiar with. It should be something where everyone that walks into the doors should leave with something, either a piece of information they didn't know before, a new resource, a job, information they can pass on to their family. So it should be something, a service that everyone in the Virgin Islands knows about. And right now, I don't think that's the case, but we're going to make that happen. And outreach is the key. We got to get out there. We can't do this behind our computers. We got to get out there into the community for sure.
Mike?
So I'm going to jump in because I want to ask a couple of questions. Because I know how passionate you are. It's obvious. And everybody stateside is very familiar with Equus Workforce Solutions. But I think you're talking about a couple of things that maybe need a little bit more clarification. Like when you say core partner in the workforce world means something, but to the outside world, right now they're saying, what's a core partner? So what's a core partner?
The Department of Education, the Department of Social Services. Those are the core partners that can eliminate the barriers within that particular individual if they have any barriers that they need to eliminate before they go into successful workforce credential attainment.
Got it. So let's say I am somebody, do I need to be unemployed or can I be underemployed? Can I be somebody who's looking for a new opportunity? Who should be walking into the American Job
I
Fair?
honestly believe we won't turn anybody away. Anybody who needs any type of service, anybody who needs any type of vocational training, educational attainment, we will help everybody. So
Okay, well,
there is no limitations. You come in
No
and we'll find
limitations
help.
is pretty easy to understand, right? So all around the country where I work with Equus and other providers and other career centers, it's sort of, as you alluded to, sort of the best kept secret in town. And that's something that has been, an endeavor by the Department of Labor for many years now to make sure people are more familiar with all the services that are being provided, whether it's a citizen, a resident, whether it's an employer, whether it's a partner. But it's really, as I've discovered around the country, a nonstop endeavor. It's events like this, it's being in the street, it's being on the radio, it's being in the newspaper, it's being on social media. So all those things are going to ultimately, the goal is to drive more traffic into the centers, right? So in the center, what happens? I walk in, I'm somebody who's looking for help, so Yvette, they meet with somebody on your team, and then what happens?
Well, due to COVID limitations, we have to have some controls of how many people we can allow into the building. So the talent development specialists go outside, and as folks are waiting to be serviced for questions about the UI benefits, they just walk up to them. What are you here for today? And they just start the conversation. And, conversations are always interesting, right? Someone like, oh, I just want to collect my unemployment. And others like, well, yeah, I want to hear more about, the other side, the training opportunities and jobs. And then, they vet them from there. They either make an appointment, they need help getting their account reset or setting up a profile in Views. They can help them with that, make an appointment for them to come in and do it. Put them through the WIOA eligibility to see if they qualify for training and find ways we can help them, just have that conversation with them. And through that, we find out sometimes there are some barriers. There's a reason why they can't go back to work. And from there, find how we can help them eliminate that barrier.
Okay, and helping them is because it's good for them, good for the employer, because David, you talked a lot about soft skills. So maybe some people aren't familiar with what that means. What does that mean, soft skills?
Soft skills is, I really believe, and that's a question. That's a very tough question because a lot of soft skills is interpreted different by everybody.
Okay.
Soft skills has to do more of the customer service interaction, more of the getting to work on time, knowing how to dress properly for work. Those skills that they normally wouldn't realize how important it is to the employer, how important it is to for employment. So it's to develop that mentality, just to develop that, yes, I start at 9 to 5, let me get to work at 8:30, let me be ready. Yes, my lunch is from 12 to 12:30. Yes, I'm coming back to my desk at 12:30. How to dress appropriately for the job, how to respond, how to interact, how to talk.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that experience with my own kids as they started work when they were younger and they were teenagers, and I would see them leaving at about 2 minutes before the top of the hour, and I say, "Where are you going?" They said, "I'm going to work." I'm like, "What time does work start?" "Well, it starts at 9 o'clock." I said, "Well, work starts at 9, which means you really should be there at 8:45 or 8:50 so you can drop your belongings, whatever you need to do, and then begin working at 9 o'clock." So that's a soft skill issue right there, understanding how to manage your time, manage yourself, getting up on time, dressed. Those sound like simple things, but not simple for everybody, right?
No, it's extremely difficult, especially when you're used to a certain routine that never puts you into that predicament. So we will develop those skills for you, and those are the trainings we offer.
Yeah, that's great. So Yvette, in your work experience, what did you learn on the job someplace? What did you learn from this new role that you have at Equus Workforce Solutions?
What I've learned from this new role, one of the things I tell the staff is like, look, we're not selling widgets, right? We're selling a service, and that's something that you have to really understand. You know, we're here to serve the people. So at the end of the day, when we leave each day, is when we know we were able to help. And I hear them; they come back to me. I spoke the excitement in their voice of having known that they actually helped someone, that that they helped them get a job, they got their application approved. That's what we're doing. And so, what have I learned? One thing I've learned is that we have a gap in communication, this is from before. It's like we have so many services in a territory, and how is it that people don't know about it? So we need more outreach. We need to get the word out, find every possible avenue, so no one. I mean, there should be no empty classroom. I spoke to a service provider, and she said, "Well, I've had these training programs, and there's no one registered." So something is wrong. Yeah, we need to fix that because people need to know about what's available. How do we get the classrooms filled if the message is not out there? So that community outreach is when we're talking about that for days is essential. There should be no empty classrooms.
Yeah, I think one of the things you might be underselling yourself on a little bit as I've gotten to know you and seen you in your role is your need to multitask. It's not just one thing every single day. It's from serving your team members, it's from serving the participants who walk in the door, it's from coordinating with employers, of course coordinating with Director Etienne, the workforce director at the Department of Labor, and making sure that everybody is having their needs met. So, and this is a skill that we would call a soft skill, wouldn't we, David?
Yes, it is.
And one word I like to jump in right here, Mike, is the word impact. Never thought of how important it is, how heavy a burden that is in the industry that we serve, making an impact in the community. It's a tremendous word because that word impact can uplift the family, can uplift the community, can uplift employers. And that's what we're here for. That big word, it's a heavy word, but it's a very important word, making an impact.
Yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. So as we wrap up here, how are people going to find where the centers are? Can you let them know where the locations are?
Absolutely. So most people know where the Department of Labor is, right? But the St. Croix Department of Labor is right next to Costulas. Between Costulas and there's like a little pop-up, this little new restaurant there. In St. Thomas, I don't know, I'm not quite sure because I'm not familiar with St. Thomas. But David, do you know the exact address?
So St. Thomas is right downtown. It's right next to the Windward Passage Hotel and by the government, the football.
No, you know how I know it?
Go ahead.
I'm a sports person. By that beautiful baseball field that's there.
Yes,
it's right next to the baseball field. When I walk in the morning when I'm here, in the summer, I see these kids training. And that brought a smile on my face because you don't see that very often at 8 o'clock in the morning that these kids are playing baseball. You don't see that in the States.
Of course, you can go to vidal.gov and find the locations right there, as well as all kinds of resources, whether you're an employer or a participant or a partner in any single way. So, listen, I thank you for being here.
One question, Mike,
go
one more.
ahead. Whoa, wait a second.
If you can't find us, we'll be coming to you.
Yes.
We will go to your communities. We will outreach to you, talk to your providers. We will come to you and make sure you know how to find us.
I'm pretty sure David means that because he's the most enthusiastic guy I've come across in a long time. Yvette as well. Thank you both for being here today and being a part of the Workforce Summit. All right, folks, we're going to take a break right now, and then we'll come back with a wrap-up and let you know what's next going on in the world of workforce development. Thank you.
Being a firefighter, you have to serve, and that's one of the reasons why I became a firefighter. I love to serve my community. I achieved so many different certifications through my time in the fire service. So I've done so much. I'm an EMT, hazmat tech, extrication. I've done it all, which is why I'm where I'm at today.
I moved up in rank, corporal, sergeant, and now lieutenant. Each step was a learning experience, and it's a great opportunity to work in the Virgin Islands Fire Service. I learned several different things in the fire department. The first was the initial fire training, and that's what made me love the job the most. The second one was the hazmat training, which I am the team leader for that department right now. And the last one was the police training, which makes me a peace officer.
I've already taken a test for the entry level test for the Bureau of Corrections to become a correction officer, and I passed it, and I got a call. And they were asking me if I'm still interested, and I said very much so, because I don't want to be here on my island where I was born in St. Croix to give some services and give back to my community. And the government has provided me with, of course, I would say, a well-secured job, well-secured career, and in the whole spec of the Virgin Islands, the government of Virgin Islands per se. We need to go a long way, but it's given me a lot of hope. It's provided security for me, and I know they can do that for a whole lot of people here in the Virgin Islands as well.
Good morning and welcome back to the 2021 Governor Bryan's Workforce Development Summit from St. John. We are concluding our 3 days of workforce summits, which started Wednesday on St. Croix, Thursday on St. Thomas, and then concluding here on beautiful St. John. I'm going to let Executive Director of the Workforce Development Board, Sonia Boyce, as well as Commissioner of the Department of Labor, Gary Malloy, close things out for you. I want to thank everybody at home and in person for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the remarks from all of our speakers, and we look forward to seeing you at future events. But right now, I'll turn things over to Executive Director Sonia Boyce. Sonia?
Thank you, Mike Fazio, and thank you for all that you do for us, helping us, the board, Department of Labor, the community. So Workforce 180, Mike Fazio, absolutely a great partnership with the board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone who tuned in, people who came in person, who viewed online, to make this summit a success in terms of getting our message out there. And especially kudos to the committee who put this together. Teamwork really made this dream work, so I want to thank everyone. I'm not going to call any names because I don't want to forget anyone, so I just want to give out a broad thank you to everyone. And the governor for making sure that this happened. His message, you know, make sure we build that workforce development talent pipeline. We're here to do that. We're here to make sure it happens. We've gotten our marching orders, the call to action, so we're going to continue the work that we've been doing with the partners, the core partners, and of course, as David mentioned earlier, we're going to be out there in the community making sure that the opportunities that are in the territory are not a secret. It is there for everyone, and the Virgin Islands is our home, and as Virgin Islanders, we must do our part to make sure that we continue to build a sustainable, well-developed economy, because we need all hands on deck, and that means getting trained, being employed, and taking it one step further, preparing it for the next generation. So, Commissioner, and again, you're the backbone of this workforce, Department of Labor. So, you know, you have been doing an awesome job, you and your team, absolutely amazing work. And I know when the unemployment issue came on, and I was able to sit in on meetings across the nation to see what other labor departments or, you know, states were doing, and some of them hadn't even gotten started. You know, so you guys, the amount of people, the amount of lives that you were able to impact and get people to put bread on their table, so to speak, that you were able to do that, and your awesome staff. I want to give you kudos for that and to continue doing the great work you're doing.
Thank you, thank you. And you know, as we wrap up this summit, it's not the end. This is just the beginning. You know, it's important to know that and to get to see the Workforce Development Board come from behind the scenes and to have as visible presence, because it's important that everybody understand that to drive this system, it starts with the board and the members of that 27-member board that helps to identify the demand sectors and does a lot of the research within what's happening across the country to be able to help the Department of Labor be able to help with the implementation of this system. And so it's important that all of us come together. We recognizing the core partners, and when we talk about core partners, Department of Education, Department of Human Services, we're talking about vocational rehab, and so those are our core partners that are in this with us, as well as the One Stop. You got a chance to mention, you got to see the One Stop and Equus. They've joined the family, and I'm saying joining the family. We're all in this battle and this fight together to make sure that we bring the message out to make sure that Virgin Islanders know that we're trying to make sure that the system is easy to access, get information, and to be able to go through the process. It should not be a very, very difficult process to be able to get individuals employed. There's a lot of opportunity, and we try to make sure that we give you a snippet of the type of opportunity that's here in the Virgin Islands. Governor Bryan made his presentations were really on point. Talk about the perspective. We need to start looking at it a different way. A lot of the things that we take for granted in the Virgin Islands have a lot of the opportunities in there. And so the Department of Labor is committed to working with all the team, all the partners, and making sure our service providers, our employers throughout the territory, our job seekers, that we're making sure we're putting everybody together to understand that this system, in order for it to keep moving, we have to work together, recognize that there are going to be challenges along the way, but we're going to be here to support one another and move smoothly through the process. And it's important that we did this and made sure that all islands were included, because we have to make sure that the division, we can't let water divide us. And there's services, each island has strengths and weaknesses, and we need to make sure we focus, we target, and we ensure that everybody is going to be, all the Virgin Islanders, our citizens, our residents, are part of this recovery effort. It's going to take all of us to be able to do this. So I want to thank you for everything that you've been doing as Executive Director and helping to lead the board with Chairman Carty and the rest of the team. Our consultants like Workforce 180, tremendous. Again, we're talking about a family, ICF. You're going to be hearing a lot about ICF. They're extensions of the Department of Labor, all working together to make sure that this workforce development system flows and flows well to benefit all our residents within the community. So I want to thank you all. And again, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. We are already doing our outreach, especially with the Skills for Today. The cohort number 1 has already begun. We're trying to make sure that we continue those cohorts after this first cohort. We want to be able to start another cohort. And so a lot of recruitment is going on. We were in St. Thomas, very, very hard at Corrin Terrace, at Oswald Harris Court. We were at Bavoni, and in St. Croix this month, we were at Williams Delight. We're going to be at Ario Diaz, and then JFK, and then we come back to St. Thomas. And we're actually, again, trying to make sure that everybody is included. You're not going to say that you don't know that the opportunities are there. We're trying to make sure that we're doing that. And with our partner, Equus, we're going out there in the community to make sure that you know that the services are available. Please take advantage of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.